David Sugarman here from Stadium. We're getting ready for a great Saturday afternoon of college basketball later this week. It will be UTSA taking on Western Kentucky at 3 o'clock. We've got UTSA head coach Steve Henson with us now. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us for a few minutes this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first, before we dive into Western Kentucky, I want to talk big picture a little bit. You've been one of the better turnarounds in Conference USA, 10-22 last year, 6-8 as we talked before your game tonight on Thursday. What have been some of the biggest keys to that turnaround?
Well, we've got a handful of new guys. We are all of our starting backcourt, or all three guys are new guys. They're doing a terrific job for us. Jaffe Medor's pushing the ball, getting us in some transition, distributing, a true pass first point guard. John Buggs has been probably our most consistent guy. Maybe the things he does don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. He's not going to overwhelm you with his stats, but he just battles on every possession. He defensively doesn't make many mistakes. He competes, he fights, makes a lot of the right plays offensively, shooting the ball very well. And then we were counting on those two guys heading into the season. We expected those two guys to have a big impact. DJ Richards, we thought, could come in and give us some shooting, and he's done that, maybe at a higher level than we anticipated. Was a little more ready than we thought he might be as a freshman. So those guys have really given us a shot in the arm and helped us get off to a little better start in the non-conference.
For those who haven't seen you on, on their television this season, when they come out to see, or when they watch a UTSA basketball game, what's Roadrunner basketball? What's the style?
Yeah, we want to push the ball. We've been good over the years. We've been one of the most up-tempo teams in the league, and we're still doing that, maybe not quite to the same degree, but we're still looking to go early. We're pretty successful when we get transition shots with Jaffe penetrating, our shooter space on the floor. We'll shoot threes in transition. And then we got, to establish possession. Turnovers have been an issue for us, which has been surprising to me. This group has bought into everything else that we've been trying to do, but we got to continue to have better half-court possessions. Defensively, we've mixed it up a little more this year, maybe than we have in the past. We've traditionally been mostly man-to-man, and we still are primarily, but we mixed in a little more zone this year. Try to change our defenses just a little bit more to maybe keep the opponent's offenses from getting a rhythm on us. But we want to play as fast as we can. We want to drive the ball, drive and kick it, space it. We don't throw it in the post much, with the exception of Jacob Germany. So we're kind of a drive and kick team.
You already touched on your top scorer, Jaffe Medor. He's been a big part of your guys' success. What makes him so dynamic on the court? Because he's been a blast to watch.
Yeah, he's special. He's fast. I mean, that's his maybe his biggest talent, and his mentality. I mean, he wants to pass the ball. He's scoring a lot more for us lately, which is good as well. But he'd be very content if we get some other guys that continue to step up and continue to make shots. Isaiah Otto-Unker has been out of the lineup for us for a few games now with a hand injury, but he gave us one more shooter on the perimeter. If we can get that floor spread and give him opportunities to drive it and kick it and then get to the foul line, he puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And when he's getting some of those foul calls and shooting free throws, it helps our offensive attack out quite a bit.
Looking forward to Saturday, you start to scout Western Kentucky. Big picture, what jumps out on film that you say, we got to be ready for that?
Yeah, most of our focus is still on the game at hand, but those guys, they present a lot of challenges. We say it virtually every night in Conference USA. You line up and say, man, this is one of the best point guards in the league. When you look at Western, they've got one of the best point guards in the league. There can be stretches where they're just cruising along. All of a sudden, he flips that switch and he gets downhill and gets in the paint and finishes. So he puts a lot of pressure on you. On the other end of the floor, their length, their athleticism, sharp blocking shots is a big concern. He does a terrific job of protecting the paint. And they're shooting a lot of threes this year, so you got to defend the 3-point line. Got to compete for the right shots. Got to keep McKnight out of the paint and keep him off the free throw line. Those are some things that jump out right away.
You touched on the three ball. To date, they have the best 3-point shooting percentage in the league, but you guys are top 5 in Conference USA in defending the three. So what is the key to defending the three, especially when you're about to face a team that's going to chuck a few up?
Yeah, we've been better this year than we have in the past, and I don't know that we've really emphasized things much differently. We felt like our defense in the past was built to do a better job against the 3-point line. We try not to double the post. We try not to get in transition, try not to be in scramble mode, try to be solid. I think maybe this year early on, we were a little more aggressive on the perimeter instead of being a little tighter and more condensed. I think we were a little more aggressive, but yeah, it's something we got to continue to focus on. We try to do a great job with our scouting reports. This is a pretty high IQ group. They recognize that, the guys are shooting high 40s and above 40. We got to be obviously more aggressive on them. Our closeouts, I think, are just a little bit better. We have different lineups. We have some guys coming off the bench that have pretty good length when they get out there to contest threes. I think that longer contest may have been helping us. But as we move along in league play, some of those stats that look one way in non-conference start to get shifted a little bit. And we're playing some really good teams in the league right now. So we got to continue to defend the three. That's been one of the categories that's been good for us.
Coach, last question, and probably the one that's on everyone's mind. I was looking it up this morning before we got on. Have you ever actually seen, not your mascot, but a real live Roadrunner?
Oh yeah.
Are they like thrifty around you?
It's very rare to see them. I've seen one on the golf course. There's some hiking trails up near where we live. My wife's seen them. I've seen them. It is very rare.
Are they as scary as, because I looked one up and, outside of the cartoon, your mascot, or of course, Looney Tunes back in the day, those are some frightening creatures.
Yeah, they're fast and tough, which is what we hope to be. But I think I don't think they're any threat to the humans. I think those critters on the ground might have some issues, but yeah, it is pretty exciting when you do get to see one in the wild.
Would you ever walk up to one and like try and pet it or give it breadcrumbs, or not that kind of person?
Absolutely. I don't think they would last very long. They move fast. They're going to scatter.
Fair enough. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes today, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Steve Henson from UTSA men's basketball, their head coach. They'll be taking on Western Kentucky right here on Stadium, 3:00 tip-off this Saturday. Once again, Conference USA basketball on Stadium. Coach, thanks so much. Good luck tonight and Saturday afternoon.
Thank you. Birds up.